Now I'm going to go ahead and share my desktop with you. So in just a moment, you're going to see your screen. Change over to my desktop. Let me minimize that document there. So at this time, we are viewing the desktop. And so the very first thing that I'm going to do here is open up my TurningPoint software. Now what I want everybody to notice is that when TurningPoint opens up, it's going to be automatically also opening up Microsoft PowerPoint. The reason TurningPoint does this is because it's completely integrated with PowerPoint. It's basically 100% the same. So if we take a look at the very top of the screen, notice how I have all these tabs up here. I have a home tab.
I have a question where you start out.
Yes, go ahead.
They had me put two things. You got down to what is that, TurningPoint Anywhere?
Sure.
And then the other was the TurningPoint.
Point.
Okay. So I have both of those loaded. Okay.
I'm sorry, Alan, I cut you off there. Go ahead.
Okay, so both of those are loaded on mine. That's as far as I got. So.
Very good. Now, there is a difference between the two pieces of software, but both software works with the same hardware, which are the response cards and the receiver.
Okay.
Now, what I thought we'd do is today talk about TurningPoint. And, of course, TurningPoint is the software that's completely integrated with PowerPoint. So if you're using PowerPoint, TurningPoint is a software that basically builds slides that are interactive within that PowerPoint presentation.
Okay.
Now, let's say that you're not using PowerPoint and you're using any other sort of application. So maybe you're streaming a movie, you're showing a PDF document, or you just want to ask your students verbal questions. TurningPoint Anywhere is an application that does not integrate into PowerPoint or anything else for that matter. So it allows you to pull in basically any environments. Okay, so that's the difference between the two pieces of software. Now, the software does work with the same exact hardware, which are the response cards and the receiver, but depending on how you're using the polling depends on which one of these pieces of software you'd want to use. So if you are predominantly nothing but PowerPoint and you want there to be interactive slides within the presentation, then TurningPoint is what you want to use. If you know you don't really use too much of PowerPoint and you're going to be doing things outside of that, TurningPoint Anywhere is an excellent piece of software because it doesn't actually integrate with anything else.
Okay.
Okay, did that clear it up there, Alan?
Yeah, because we're a Milady school, so we have syllabus from that we bring in. And so we want to interact with that also. So
definitely, absolutely.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll go through TurningPoint, and if we have a little bit of time at the end, I'll definitely open up TurningPoint Anywhere and take a look at that if we get an opportunity, just to see the difference, and also show you how easy it is to work with TurningPoint Anywhere. Sound all right with you?
Sure.
All right, so once again, I just opened up TurningPoint, which remember, TurningPoint is a software that's part of PowerPoint. So with an opening up at TurningPoint, it automatically also opens up a blank PowerPoint presentation. Now, at the very top of the page, I can see I have a Home tab, Insert, Design, all the way down to View. If you're a PowerPoint user, should be very familiar, because these are our standard everyday PowerPoint tabs that we would always have in there. But now down to the far left-hand side, I have an additional tab called TurningPoint 2008. When I click on this TurningPoint 2008 tab, notice how it changed my PowerPoint toolbar over to something that we're going to refer to as the TurningPoint ribbon. So you're going to hear me say the word ribbon probably about 20 times in this training. Anytime that I say the word ribbon, I'm referring to where all of these interactive icons are located. So from my Information tab all the way down to my Help tab, those are dealing with the interactive TurningPoint slides. Now, do notice how I can easily move back and forth between regular PowerPoint by clicking on the Home tab, and also my TurningPoint 2008 tab, which brings up my TurningPoint ribbon. So as you're creating presentation, the entire presentation is not going to be nothing but TurningPoint slides, probably not. And the entire presentation is not going to be anything but just PowerPoint. You're going to have some PowerPoint slides in there, and intermittently you're going to have mixed in interactive TurningPoint slides. So, okay, that's what we're going to talk about today, exactly the steps of going ahead and creating those presentations and also running them. Now, if you already have an existing PowerPoint presentation, which if you're probably a PowerPoint user, you do, and you don't necessarily want to recreate all those PowerPoint slides within TurningPoint, you just want to be able to take TurningPoint slides and mix them in with the existing PowerPoint. If this is the case, you first of all want to open up the TurningPoint software, as I've done. When TurningPoint opens up, of course, it opens up a blank PowerPoint presentation. Now that this blank PowerPoint presentation is opened up, I can now go ahead and open up any other PowerPoint presentation I want to, regardless of when this presentation was created. So I opened up TurningPoint first, and then I opened up my existing PowerPoint. Now that I've done this, take a look at the upper left-hand corner of my page. I have my TurningPoint 2008 tab, which tells me that I have the integration with the TurningPoint software. Do you guys have any questions this time regarding the integration that TurningPoint has with PowerPoint?
No.
All right, now my agenda today. I'm going to cover things very logically, Alan, the same way that you guys will do it. I'm going to make sure I train it in that order. So we'll talk about what must be done before a presentation, during, as well as after a presentation. Now, if we take a look at my very first bullet, before a presentation involves two things. It involves, first and foremost, installing the software. And then second, it involves actually constructing our presentation, because we can't actually run a presentation until we build one. Now, Alan, I know you said you already downloaded the TurningPoint software onto the computer, so I'm not going to spend too much time on how this is done, but I do want to let everybody know that installing the software is free of charge, and there's two different places to install it from. First of all, when you purchase the hardware, which you guys did with those response cards and the receiver, contained in that kit is a CD. The CD contains the TurningPoint software, and including the TurningPoint Anywhere software, we can install it directly from there. Now, if you don't have the CD, you can go ahead and install the software directly from our website, which is turningtechnologies.com. Now, the reason I'm mentioning all this is that it is completely 100% necessary to have TurningPoint installed to both create a presentation as well as run a presentation. If we don't have TurningPoint installed, we do not have any interactive slides. If we don't have TurningPoint installed, we're not going to have an interactive presentation. Okay, so TurningPoint must be installed to both create a presentation as well as run it. Now, after we install the software, the next thing that we're going to do is create the presentation. Now, remember, we have one of two ways to create. We can either create a presentation from scratch by just opening up TurningPoint, which automatically also opens up PowerPoint. From there, you go back and forth between standard PowerPoint slides and your interactive TurningPoint to have a completed presentation. Now, if you already have an existing PowerPoint, you can go ahead and integrate these TurningPoint slides within that existing PowerPoint by opening up TurningPoint first and then that existing presentation, as I have done. Take a look at my PowerPoint right now. There are no TurningPoint slides in here as of this time. But because I opened up TurningPoint first and then the PowerPoint presentation, it gives me the integration. So let's say immediately following slide number 2, we want there to be an interactive TurningPoint slide. Well, since we're talking about TurningPoint, I need to make sure that I go to my TurningPoint 2008 tab, which brings up this ribbon. From my ribbon, makes sense, and I'm going to come over to the icon which reads Insert Slide and left click. Now, when I left click on Insert Slide, notice how it gives me a number of different slide options. Now, for our purposes today, let's go ahead and discuss the slides that you guys are going to be using just about 100% of the time, especially as you're just getting started. And it's going to be the top 6, so from the vertical slide down to the donut slide. These are what we refer to as chart slides. Or in other words, these are the slide types where your students or audience would see the question, they would pick up their response card and answer it, and then whatever we decide from here, that's how our audience is going to view their results. So if we want them to view their results from the question in a vertical chart format, at this time we would insert a vertical slide. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to left click on vertical slide. Now that I've done this, what you're going to notice is that I've built it right in as slide number 3 within this PowerPoint presentation. It's basically just another PowerPoint slide. It's just going to be an interactive PowerPoint slide. And I want you to think of these slides just like that. These are interactive PowerPoint. It's still a PowerPoint presentation. These TurningPoint slides are not that far removed from regular PowerPoint. They just become interactive when we take them live in the presentation. Now that I have this TurningPoint slide inserted, I have just 3 required steps to be 100% done with this slide if I would like to be. My first required step is to type out my question. Step 1 is done. My second required step is to type out up to my 10 possible answer choices. Step 2 is done. My third and final required step is to bring my cursor outside the segmented box and left click one time. Now that I've done this, it has populated 3 evenly distributed bar graphs, and these bar graphs do indeed correlate with my 3 answer choices.